Hello.
Hi everyone. Are you sleepy?
I told Dominique we have 15 minutes to get to know each other, so it's like speed dating. And I'm going to start off by introducing you. Good morning, Dominique, and welcome to this conversation with Dominique Ansel, the founder of the Dominique Ansel Bakery, located in downtown New York, and creator, among other delicacies, of the world-renowned cronut, which not only boasts its own trademark, but is so in demand that it now sells up to 20 times its retail price in the black market. For those of you who haven't spent the last few months lining up outside of his bakery, Dominique began introducing his pastries to New York in November 2011, and he's received numerous awards since then. Most recently, he was awarded Outstanding Pastry Chef of the Nation by the James Beard Awards, and in 2013, he was named one of Business Insider's most innovative people under 40. Beginning his baking career at the age of 16, Dominique worked in the first corner boulangerie he could find in Paris, and he quickly moved up, later developing a very strong presence within the Fauchon bakeries. And after 8 years, he moved to New York, where he worked as the executive pastry chef at Daniel Boulud's flagship French restaurant. Today, he continues his quest to create innovative pastries, constantly working on the cusp of new ideas. His milk and cookie shots, his frozen s'mores, and his magic soufflé are coveted pastries and Instagram icons. Welcome, Dominique.
Thank you very much.
So I want to talk a little bit with you about your creative vision. And in starting this bakery, you chose to really move away from old school, lavish French pastries. Describe your vision and your goals for starting this modern bakery in New York.
Well, I think that when it comes to culinary world, there's a lot of things that have been done in restaurants, for example, a lot of different styles, a lot of different chefs that have different visions. But when it comes to bakery, it's pretty much what it is. It's always the same, it's the same everywhere. So I wanted a place where people could find very good quality food with like a good ideals and also feel comfortable. I didn't want bakery to be too French, too lavish with a chandelier and like drape everywhere. I wanted a place where people feel comfortable and could come, sit, have a coffee, have a good pastry, and find inspiration to the pastry.
How did that affect the design of the space as well?
So the design of the space is, it feels pretty much like New York when you walk in, but it has this French touch inside, the beautiful pastries. We play music inside. We have lots of seating in the back. It's comfortable, but it's refined at the same time.
Can you talk a little bit about how your cultural identity has shaped your work? You're now very much accepted as a New Yorker, but you're French. How have the two influences come together, and how does that specifically influence your creations?
That's right. I think that New Yorkers and Americans have like good idea when it comes to French people. French people represent refinement, quality, and especially when it comes to food. I think being a French person in New York is a plus for us. You can have especially with the accent, you can have this touch, this finesse that you can put into your food, but also understanding the culture, understanding what the traditions and what people believe in here is very important. Be a part of the culture and at the same time being French is very important. We can fuse the both culture together. You get something very unique.
In terms of also taste and flavors, how has that influenced your work?
So I use some of the American flavors into my pastries. For example, we do the Paris New York, it's like a Paris breast, but with peanut butter, chocolate, and caramel. A little bit of what we call it the Snickers bar flavor.
Okay.
So it's a French pastry with an American influence.
So where did you research all of that? The peanut butter, did you go diving into American culture with these things that you grew up with knowing about?
I mean, I use a lot of French techniques, and also, peanut butter is everywhere here. There are a lot of things that are part of the American culture. For example, we launched not so long ago the cookie shot.
So that's being a big hit for you.
That was a big hit.
Can you describe it a little bit?
So the cookie shot is a chocolate chip cookie that's shaped as a shot glass, and inside we pour fresh farm milk as infused with vanilla. We launched this for South by Southwest. Mm-hmm. So it's a show about in Texas about innovation and creativity. I got invited to do something there, and every time I go somewhere, I like to bring new ideas, new things. So I created this for South by Southwest. And it was a big hit. We had over like 1,000 people lining up just to try it. And when we came back, everyone in New York was asking for it. So we launched it at the bakery.
Well, I was at a dinner for MoFad, the Museum of Food and Drink, and you presented an amazing creation for dessert, which was tarte tatin that you had to build yourself. Can you describe that a little bit?
So I wanted people to have interaction with the food. I want people to have fun. So my theme was battlefield food. Battlefield
food. It was inspired by
the military food.
By military food.
So I found a way to caramelize the apple into a tin, like a can, that you open yourself. And on the side you had like a little tube, like a toothpaste with caramel inside, a jam jar with whipped cream, and you had to build the starch yourself, and also a little sous vide bag with the sablé. So you had to cut the bag, put it on your plate, open the can, putting the apple on your plate. I wanted people to have interaction with the dessert. I want people to have fun. I want people to really see the work that was going into the pastry and finish it themselves too.
On the subject of interaction, you've really created a sort of a range of pastries that celebrate that idea. It's quite different from traditional pastries where one would walk into a store, buy one, and eat it. You're asking your customers to have sort of interaction with it, to build it, to construct it. In some ways, they're part of the experience. How did that come to you, and why is it important?
Well, everyone talks about the cronut. The cronut is a wonderful creation, but as I say all the time, let's not let creation kill our creativity. And I want to move on. I want to do something else always. Every time I do new things, I think about the next one, what I can do. So I'm working right now on desserts that I call interactive, so where you have to put your own touch on the desserts. Most bakeries will put your pastry in a box, put in a bag, and ask you to go. At bakery, we actually, for example, we have the tart called the Lime Me Up. It's a lime tart inspired by the gimlet, the drink. And it is a lime tart where you have on top little rectangle of chocolate with brown sugar, juniper, and salt. And you have to sprinkle yourself as much as you need, as much as you want. You finish it yourself, and you have a wedge of lime that you squeeze as well. So it's something that you finish yourself, something that you can put more or less salt and sugar, something that you can squeeze as much lime as you want. If you like more or less acid desserts, it's something that you finish yourself. So I really want people to have like different vision, different idea when it comes to pastry. It's not just something that you buy and you eat. It's something that you can think about, and something that can bring you memories and give you something else than just eating desserts.
Let's talk for a moment a little bit about your quick success, and with so many entrepreneurs in the room, I want you to sort of discuss a little bit the challenges and the rewards of having success come to you so quickly through the cronut, which has become a huge hit. But as you mentioned just now, it's something that you also want to move beyond. What is that like to, on the one hand, embrace that success, and the other hand, not be defined just by that one product?
Well, the story of the cronut happened very suddenly. We change the menu very often in bakery, every 6 to 8 weeks. So it is very intense. We change the menu even more often than most restaurants. And why? Because I love doing new things. And the cronut was just another item that we introduced to the bakery. The first day we made 20, and they sold out in a few minutes. I remember a blogger coming to the bakery, walking by, taking a photo of it, putting on his blog. The same night he called us, he told us he had an increase of traffic of 300% on his website, on over 140,000 links in just one afternoon. Called us, told us that we'll probably be busy the next day, And next day I made 35. And of course they were done like in 10 minutes. By the third day we had a line of over 100 people waiting outside. I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea. We still had like 2 people to open the shop and myself. And quickly, you know, we had to do all the things we need to do to make sure we keep the quality of our product first.
Yes.
And we give a good customer service. So now we average between 100 to 200 people every morning at the bakery before we open the doors. And we open at 8. The first person was in line at 5:30 this morning.
This morning, that's right.
So it's important for me, you know, everyone talks about social media, everyone talks about how we use it. What's important for me is really my customers first. The quality of our product and my customers are 2 very important things. We serve this line every morning. Like before we open the doors, we go outside, we give hot chocolate, madeleines to people, we wish them welcome as they're waiting in line, way before we open the doors. We welcome them to the bakery before they enter to the bakery. We thank them for coming, we explain to them what are the rules for the cronuts, and we have a limit of 2 per person. And you know, the cronuts is a beautiful creation, but there's so many more things that have never been done when it comes to pastry, and this is what I'm looking for.
So this is the challenge for you.
It is a challenge.
Innovation has been obviously a huge part of your identity, and people recognize you for that. Maybe or maybe not because the cronut, it has pushed you even further to really push the boundaries of what you can present to your customers, what's going to be the new hot pastry. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of innovating and where do you get your inspiration from?
Innovation for me, it is very important because I love it. I love doing new things, and I love seeing my staff excited. I love to see my customer excited by new things. I remember the first couple of months we opened the bakery, people were coming in December asking for the strawberry tart we were doing in August. And I had to explain to them why we're not doing it. Because out of season, because we have new things, because I'm on the change. And now people come back to the bakery with friends, with family, and they expect to see new things. They're excited about it, they see the new menu coming up, and they all come back, and they're very excited about it. So it's a little bit of changing people's habits into what they think about just a regular bakery.
And the images that you get for your creations come from as much from fashion as they do from photography, even a dream, you said.
That's right. So inspiration can come from anywhere and really everywhere for me. I remember like dreaming about a tin of caviar and like biting into it. And this is when I created actually the what we call the caviar tart. So it is essentially a chocolate tart with caramel, coffee, and little pearls of chocolate that looks exactly like caviar.
Do you cultivate those ideas that come to you subconsciously? Do you track them? Do you have a diary, a journal? How do you keep track of your ideas?
I don't like really keep track of my ideas, but I always try new things all the time. Right now, for example, we're working on like 5, 6 different ideas and constantly working on new ideas, testing them, tweaking them, seeing people's reaction, see how we can change things. There's always something going on with bakery. It's not just the production, but when it comes to creativity and test, there's always something going on.
I have one more question for you. Before we wrap up, you've had a lot of support from your customers on social media that has really spread the word about your success. You yourself have become very active on social media. How do you balance being a pastry chef and being a celebrity as well, which is maybe something that you didn't plan on becoming?
Yeah, I didn't plan on becoming a celebrity, but what's important for me is really like being in the kitchen.
So you start your day in the kitchen.
I start my day in the kitchen.
At 4 a.m.
I'm very close to my staff, I work with them, and close to my customers as well. This is the most important. Understanding what customer want, what they will be willing to see.
Do you review customer reviews regularly? Do you take that into account?
Of course, always.
So you're following that constantly?
We're never the best. We're never like always the best. So sometimes there are things that we need to change, to tweak a little bit, and adjust. And those things that we should always take into consideration when we have comments from people. Most people are super happy, super excited every day at the bakery, but we have to listen to everyone, you know.
Yes, and I imagine that as you're pushing the frontiers in terms of your creations, you're also trying to reinforce the customer experience. What are the most important things for you, for your customers to know when they come and see you every morning?
The most important things for my customers are also it's for them to have a good time. Some of them wait for like 2-3 hours just to come to bakery. I respect this a lot. They understand what we do. And when they come to bakery, they want to experience something new and different. So that's why we have so many creations, and that's why we keep on creating.
Is it true that people have asked their girlfriends and boyfriends in marriage?
That's right. We had a few, yes. I had a few customers coming and knocking at the window at 7 o'clock in the morning asking me for cronuts. I had to tell them that we're not open until 8. And they told me that they really needed a cronut. They showed me their boarding pass. They were flying to California and they wanted a cronut to put a ring on it.
Tell me you gave it to them.
I did.
Dominique Ansel, thank you very much.
Thank you.